Shrouding the Heavens episode 87. An immortal legend, a legendary forbidden land, and a life-or-death battle. Will Yu Fan and the Black Emperor be able to rescue Pangbo, or will they be consumed by the boundless power of the ancient demon? Discover the secrets of the Yellow Spring Seed and the terrifying truths hidden within the 9th level prison. Don't miss a second. The suspense is unbearable. Do you know how difficult it was for Yu Fan to rescue Pangbo? He and the Black Emperor joined forces, but they were both defeated by the old demon inside Pangbo's body. What chilled Yu Fan to the bone during the last rescue attempt was the place, proven to be the Deathless Palace. It was unexpectedly the legendary ominous land, the Yellow Spring Seed. Immediately, Yu Fan and the Black Emperor dared not act rashly and returned to the first level of the prison. Although they hadn't felt any threat, Yu Fan's judgment was most likely correct. The Yellow Spring Seed was definitely an extremely dangerous forbidden zone. Ancient sages had spent a great deal of effort carving such a primordial mountain into a palace. This was truly a grand undertaking. After a long period of observation, the Black Emperor also deciphered the Tao inscriptions of this place. He found the source of its ability to grant agelessness, a dark and mottled deep well. After seeing that place, Yu Fan couldn't help but marvel at the ancient sages' handiwork. They had actually turned a legendary forbidden zone to their own use. That well was connected to the waters of the 9 nether yellow springs. The ancient sages used this to gain pseudo-control over time. This imperial power was quite extraordinary, making even someone as worldly as the Black Emperor, who had seen so much, gasp in amazement. Soon, the Black Emperor's greedy nature was exposed. He could sense the divine origin within the Yellow Springs and wanted to claim it for himself. Fortunately, Yu Fan stopped him. You think I don't want to? But do we have the strength? If we break the source, we'll both die here. This dissuaded the Black Emperor. However, Yu Fan suddenly thought of the divine origin and what might be inside. But this divine origin is probably no match for millions of square miles, otherwise, the saint wouldn't have died. After going deeper into several levels of the prison, Yu Fan felt relieved. Apparently, this Yellow Spring Seed had been turned to the sage's use through unfathomable means. It no longer posed a threat. He could now safely search for Pangbo. However, within the 7th level of the prison, Yu Fan and the Black Emperor also saw a stone coffin within a divine source. There was likely something strange inside. He only knew that some divine sources contained archaic creatures. This was the first time he'd seen one sealed in a stone coffin. Then they entered the 8th level of the prison. Unfortunately, Yu Fan didn't see any secret techniques or anything left by the sage. However, the Black Emperor had a different opinion. Well-versed in Tao inscriptions, he had already discerned the extraordinary nature of this place. The sage had left many things there through the use of Tao inscriptions. However, even the highly accomplished Black Emperor couldn't obtain much. After all, the sage's Tao inscriptions were too profound. Therefore, they didn't linger for long and planned to quickly enter the final level of the prison to rescue Pangbo before anything unexpected happened. Unexpectedly, the 9th level of the prison was completely different from the previous levels. Rather than a prison, it was more like a small world. Inside, birds sang and flowers were fragrant, forming a world of its own. But Yu Fan had no time to appreciate these things. On an ancient wooden altar, he saw his friend, Pangbo. They had separated soon after arriving in this world and were reunited several years later. And at this moment, Pangbo also opened his eyes. But those eyes didn't have a trace of the old Pangbo. Yu Fan knew that the one controlling this body wasn't Pangbo, but the old demon hiding inside. He stared at Yu Fan and slowly said, "Are you here to return the Tao scriptures? What have you done to Pangbo?" "I am Pangbo, isn't this good?" "Stop!" Yu Fan shouted and swiftly attacked. Hundreds of large flags were thrown out, encircling the grove. But the old demon's power was beyond his expectations. The Black Emperor was also shocked. This old demon was not what Yu Fan had described, a dying lonely ghost. He was a true dragon soaring through the 9 heavens. At this moment, Pangbo, bare-chested, indeed resembled a primordial beast, exuding a powerful, oppressive aura. But the matter had come to this. Yu Fan was also recognized. If he wanted to rescue Pangbo, a battle between them was inevitable. The Black Emperor attacked first, putting on airs of a supreme expert. "This emperor will crush you." He unleashed a mysterious and formidable attack. Although he usually seemed unreliable, his divine essence was now like a sharp blade, slashing directly at the old demon. But the old demon wasn't afraid at all. The attack didn't cause any harm. On the contrary, the black dog's divine essence trembled, clearly suffering a small loss. Seeing this, Yifan also attacked. His divine essence was even stronger than the Black Emperor's. It shot out with immense power. The black dog was furious. He hadn't gained any advantage in this exchange, and was even slightly disadvantaged. He yelled at Yifan, "Didn't you say he was on the verge of death? Why is he acting like a real dragon?" But the old demon dealt with them calmly. The Black Emperor's and Yifan's divine essences didn't harm him. Yifan shouted, believing he was bluffing, "He can't hold on for much longer. If we unleash our strongest power, we can definitely defeat him." There was no way back now. After a brief probing, both sides clashed again. Yifan and the Black Emperor's divine essences were both incredibly powerful, but even together, they were still at a disadvantage. By now, the Black Emperor understood. This old demon was far from death's door. His divine essence was at its peak. He cried out that he'd been tricked by Yifan. This great demon was indeed a peerless expert of the demon race. Although his physical body had been destroyed, leaving only his divine essence, he was still beyond Yifan's capabilities. However, Yifan quickly noticed something. It seemed that for some reason, the old demon couldn't move on the altar. With the Black Emperor's reminder, Yifan summoned the departing flame divine furnace, enlarging it to 30 meters tall. It charged straight towards Pangbo, but was still knocked away by the old demon with a single blow, as if hitting mud. The top of the furnace was dented. Yifan was shocked. What powerful strength! I didn't expect that Pangbo's physical body has already reached the 4th level of the secret realm. He's strong enough to rival the Golden Winged Rock King. However, he ultimately couldn't move. The Black Emperor also had many tricks, frequently using Dao inscriptions. Yifan no longer cared about the physical body beside him and also used the fire within the departing flame divine furnace to attack. Since they were no match for him at the moment, they could only attack the physical body while he couldn't move. But the old demon possessed the techniques of a demon emperor. With the demon emperor's 9 slashes, Yifan and the Black Emperor's attacks were easily neutralized once again. Yifan was astonished. This technique is terrifying. At this moment, the Black Emperor finally believed that the old demon possessed the shocking legacy of a demon emperor. And at this moment, Yifan stubbornly summoned the departing flame divine furnace again. The raging flame surged towards Pangbo once more. But the old demon remained motionless. Silver light from within Pangbo's eyes shot up like a spring dragon, instantly extinguishing Yifan's flames. Yifan knew he had to use his trump card. He prepared to use the myriad weapons cauldron against the enemy. 10,000 strands of profound yellow energy descended, heavy as mountains, pressing down. Like the Golden Winged Rock King, the old demon also took an interest in Yifan's cauldron, wanting to claim it for himself. He laughed loudly, ha 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 ha. This is truly a tremendous gift. One might not see something like this in 100,000 years. I'll take it. And he directly reached out with a large hand, making a move for Yifan's cauldron. Fortunately, Yifan had the Black Emperor's help to neutralize this attack. But the old demon's true strength was completely exposed. He was on the same level as the Golden Winged Rock King, which was incredibly terrifying. The Black Emperor became ruthless. It seems we can only completely trap Pangbo with Dao inscriptions. Hundreds of large flags rose from the ground. But as Yifan realized, they could only seal Pangbo's physical body, not the old demon's divine essence. We're screwed. At the same time, the old demon's divine essence burst out of the physical body and instantly unleashed the demon emperor's 9 slashes, plunder. Neither Yifan nor the Black Emperor could withstand the attack. Their divine essence's origin was extracted and pulled into a small silver world. This was a divine consciousness space. Damn it, I've been screwed by you. This old demon is clearly a formidable opponent. The Black Emperor now regretted believing Yi Fan's words and thinking that the old demon was on his last legs. But clearly, this old demon was at his peak. His divine essence might even be comparable to that of the great saints. He was not someone Yi Fan and the Black Emperor could handle. But things had come to this. They had a life and death feud. A victor had to be decided. Yi Fan knew complaining was useless. Hurry up and think of a way to defeat him. Otherwise, we'll both die here. Quickly, think of a way to defeat him. Otherwise, we're both going to die here. The Black Emperor and the old demon struck first. The old demon was incredibly powerful. With a flash of light, a single slash from his demon blade instantly shattered Yi Fan's great wilderness suppression. Then, with another slash, he severed the Black Emperor's three-pronged attack. At the same time, the black dog transformed into a true dragon and charged forward. But the great demon transformed into a Tianping, grabbing the dragon and wrenching it fiercely. With a bang, it broke. The Black Emperor quickly fell into a disadvantageous position. Yi Fan gritted his teeth and joined the battle. But this old demon's divine consciousness was several times stronger than theirs. Even if they joined forces, the old demon still held the absolute upper hand. With the Demon Emperor's 9 slashes, the Black Emperor's divine essence was severely injured. Yi Fan felt a chill run down his spine. The Demon Emperor's 9 slashes were too terrifying. Even someone as powerful as the Black Emperor couldn't withstand it. He almost perished completely. At this moment, Yi Fan desperately unleashed his Dozhan Sheng Fa, fighting Monkey King technique, successfully affecting the old demon. But the old demon knew that injuring all 5 fingers was less effective than cutting off one. He ignored Yi Fan and focused on refining the Black Emperor. The Black Emperor cried out. His divine essence began to decompose. He was on the verge of turning to ashes. However, the Black Emperor was experienced. He also had his own backup plan. After losing half of his divine essence, the Black Emperor summoned a physical divine essence weapon, catching the old demon off guard. At this moment, Yi Fan told the Black Emperor that he had 9 lives. If he could trigger 10 times damage, he could definitely kill the old demon. The black dog was shocked and then began cursing, "You damn kid, struck by lightning. You already had the secret technique. Why didn't you use it earlier?" The Black Emperor resolved to buy time for Yi Fan. But at this moment, the old demon also summoned a sealed weapon from his sea of consciousness. The old demon's true form was a Qinglian, Green Lotus. He was the 19th generation descendant of the Qing Emperor. He was also a former mighty figure. His divine essence was indeed powerful. But with his powerful divine essence and mysterious treasure, the Black Emperor held his own against the old demon, finally waiting until Yi Fan successfully triggered the 10-fold probability. The unparalleled 9 lives, combined with the invincible Dozhan Sheng Fa, finally suppressed the old demon. At this moment, Yi Fan was like a god of war, holding a divine gold battle axe, a golden pagoda above his head. He pushed his 9 lives to the limit, transforming into a simple cauldron, with the old demon trapped beneath. No matter how powerful the old demon was, he finally recognized reality. He knew that in his injured state, he was no longer a match for Yi Fan and the Black Emperor. After all, the 9 secrets were the most mysterious arts of the East. Each one was incredibly powerful, representing the pinnacle of their respective fields. But the old demon was still unwilling to give up. He was the 19th generation descendant of the Demon Emperor, a former mighty figure reborn, yet he was defeated by these 2 insignificant figures. He used all his strength, trying to unleash the final Demon Emperor's 9 slashes against Yi Fan's 9 lives. But due to insufficient cultivation, he couldn't unleash the attack. Instead, he suffered severe injuries. To prevent the old demon from escaping, Yi Fan instantly summoned a 9-story ancient pagoda, trapping the old demon's green lotus beneath it. At this point, the old demon had no power to resist. He had lost a full 30% of his divine consciousness power. According to the Black Emperor, Pangbo hadn't been completely refined by the old demon. As long as they killed the old demon, Pang Bo would naturally return. So Yifan once again used the Dozhan Sheng Fa, shattering Pang Bo's body with a bang. On the other side, the Black Emperor also suppressed the Divine Lotus. This time, there was no suspense. The old demon's divine essence was instantly crushed. Just as the Black Emperor had said, after Yifan successfully suppressed the old demon, from the depths of the physical body's sea of consciousness, a divine thought came. Yifan, is that you? Yifan's heart trembled. He finally heard that long-lost voice. His brother, Pang Bo, was still alive. Yifan. After causing such a commotion in the Golden-Winged Rock King's treasured land, will those who want him dead let him go? To be continued. Follow for more. See you in the next episode.